Peace, 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 everybody. Welcome to the Vital Hoops podcast. My name is Fernando Cardenas, aka International XB. I'm your host. This is episode number 24. There's a lot going on in the basketball world right now, specifically in the NBA. Also, the All-Star game is coming up real soon. But we're not gonna get into any of that today. You know what I mean? I'll get into the All-Star game on the next episode after the All-Star game. But today, I'm gonna talk with, you know what I mean, one of my boys from college, and I'm happy to have him here today on the Vital Hoops podcast. He's an entrepreneur, investor, music producer, and much more. In the past, he worked with Finally Famous and IBGM, and today his companies are Rebel Forever Music and Apple Tree Farming. Like I said, I'm very excited to have him on the show, my brother, Adubb the Gawd, aka Gawdier. Adubb, what's good, my G? How you doing, man?
Yeah, pretty good, bro. Good to see you, Fernando. Good to see you, bro. Thank you for having me.
Listen, man, thank you and welcome to the Vital Hoops podcast, man. It's dope to have you, man. Listen, I love it when I love to have some of my homies from back in the day, man. It's dope, and you know, you fit right in because you all about the culture. This is what Vital Hoops is about. You know what I'm saying? We played college ball
Period.
together, all that. But
Yes, sir.
we're gonna get into all that, man. We're gonna get
Yes,
into.
sir. Yes, sir.
So listen, man. First of all, I love for you to tell the listeners a little bit about you, man. You know what I'm saying? From Detroit City. Just let
Yes,
them know
sir.
a little bit about, you know, a little bit about you growing up and how you got into basketball, how you got into hip hop. You know what I'm saying? What was it like for you just growing
Definitely.
up in the D, man? Just let the listeners know a little bit.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for having me again, bro. Really appreciate it. Like you said, long time knowing
Word
you,
up.
bro. Yep, college days, young
Yes,
days.
sir.
But even before meeting you, bro, I pretty much was introduced into basketball just 4, 5, 6 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm the youngest of four boys, so I come from a basketball family, really, right here in Detroit. So I had an older brother who played, and then actually two of my older brothers played heavy.
Mm-hmm.
One of them went on to University of Minnesota to play basketball in like '94 era, and
Mm-hmm.
so that was our family's introduction to hoops for real, for real. Like he was well known around the city, so you know what I'm saying. He used to make my other brother that was right above me. He used to make him just travel around Detroit and go and play 1-on-1, you know what I'm saying, in a different neighborhoods around the city
Okay.
as
Yeah, yeah,
kids,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I'm saying? So it's like I had that type of big brother who's like an enforcer, right? So
Yeah.
my brother was known for going around hood to hood and you know what I'm saying, playing people 1-on-1 for money.
Wow,
And
that's
so
dope. Okay.
yeah, bro. So yeah, and that was like pretty much our introduction, playing AAU, playing PAL, things like that. Ever since a kid, like I said, I'm the youngest. So by the time I started, came along, it was like training wheels. It was just
Yeah,
you
yeah,
better get in, fall in line. You
yeah,
know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So
So
that yeah, yeah.
where'd you play? Where'd you play your high school basketball?
I played at Mumford High School. I played
Okay,
at
yeah.
Mumford High School.
Okay.
Yep, it's in Detroit,
Yeah,
Northwest Detroit,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
so I started there. My first year was 2003, my freshman year.
Uh-huh.
So it was like dope. It was like LeBron era, right? When Bron was like a senior in high school.
Yeah.
So it was
That's my
that
same
type
high
of
school era, man. I was in Jersey at the
yeah.
time. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Oh damn. See,
Yeah.
I didn't know you was in Jersey, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
I did
dope.
I did
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did all my high school in the States. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I did like freshman and sophomore year. I was down in Florida and then I moved to
Okay.
Jersey. I did a couple years in
Sweet.
Jersey, junior and senior year. Uh I got the opportunity to go. I went to a prep school, Pennington Prep in Jersey. And
Okay.
we played Joakim Noah. We played
Yeah.
we even played Luol Deng and Blair Academy, but we got
Woo.
killed. We got killed though, but yeah,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
we were a
But yeah,
smaller
y'all was in
school.
that
We were a
league though.
smaller school, but you
Okay.
know, yeah, 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 no
Okay.
doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't know that, bro. I didn't know
Mhm.
that. So then that's you had a crazy transition coming from down south to up north, the weather and all that. That's
No
huge.
doubt, yeah.
That's just two totally different.
Cold as fuck in
Yeah.
Michigan, man.
I already know. So, but yeah, that was that. Like my young year, I kind of say I grew up with like a hood fairy tale type. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like I wasn't poor. I ain't gonna say I grew up poor. You know what I'm saying? It was middle class. You know what I'm saying? Two hard working parents.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my mom was a mail lady. Pops was a cop. You know what I'm saying? So it was that type of situation. Like I said, brothers, and not just regular brother. Like it was like my brother was the man, bro. Like I would wake up and then. So I would say this, like my life was kind of like I've always been ran parallel with like the celebrity lifestyle and XYZ because like with the basketball world, I would wake up some mornings in the summertime and like Maurice Taylor just be in my living room, like
Dang.
playing my PlayStation. So I'm waking up like
Okay.
I'm thinking I'm in a dream. Like I just
Right.
was playing with the LA Clippers last night, and I know he young, but like like he right here playing
That's
with
dope.
himself on the video game. So like I was able to see at a young age, like, oh, it's possible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, oh, it's
Definitely.
very possible. So that's what I mean by like a hood fairy tale because it was like we was hood,
I
but it
feel
was
you.
like yeah. So we were in the mix and stuff through basketball and sports and stuff. So that's why I always knew that it'd be possible, just with sports and things and where it could lead you to.
No doubt.
So that's how I got into hoops.
No
But
doubt.
yep,
That's
I played
that.
at Mumford High School. Oh, go ahead, my bad.
No, no, no. I was gonna ask you. I wanted to ask you do you remember what was some of like the dopest, like the best street ball courts when you was growing up? Like where it was popping at, where
Okay,
dudes was really hooping at? Or maybe
man.
gyms, I don't know, maybe gyms, because I know like St. Cecilia's, but I don't know if that's
Thank
around
you.
your time. But
You took it out. You took it out my mouth, bro.
yeah,
You already took it in another pause. But
uh,
you know what I'm saying?
no doubt.
But real talk, like they like you that was the number one I was gonna say. Saint
Mm, mm,
Cecilia, bro.
yeah,
And then if you wasn't, and I'll get into that in a second. If
yeah,
you wasn't at the Saint, you know what I'm saying? Like because Saint was kind of set up for like that shit was different, bro. Like it's pro run in that bitch. And it's in the summertime only. Like
yes, sir.
I get into that. But um as far as Tyndall, like if you in the hood, you're gonna be at Tyndall on 7 Mile. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? If you that's where all the ball is. If you in zip code 48235, you're gonna be over there at Tyndall, you know what I'm saying? Getting it in.
And the
And
same
that's on
court
the west
still
side.
rocking today, or no? That was just back in your day.
So actually, that's a great question, bro.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
really a good question, bro. Because actually, they just remodeled Tyndall and
Okay.
got like a whole. They partnered up with like Ford, I want to say, or something. I could be
Damn.
wrong, but yeah. So they got like they redid the courts, things of that
Okay.
nature up there. So it looked good. It's beautiful, bro. And yeah,
Nice.
so that's still rocking. You know what I'm saying?
Cool, cool, cool.
Other places like Bustle. People used to go to this place called Bustle. You know what I'm saying? So yes, it's very
Yeah.
legendary places and courts. I say this like it really wasn't like outdoor courts. I could be wrong too about this.
Yeah,
I think on the
it's
east
too
side, but like
cold, man. It's too cold.
yeah, exactly right. So in the summertime, like
Yeah,
people was hitting the
yeah,
Saint. So
yeah,
they hit the
yeah.
gyms, they hitting Tinder.
Word.
Then they like I grew up playing in this. I got to shout it out one time because it was like an AAU is where I 6 years old, 7 years old, first time practicing. A place called Lasky or something. Lasky on
Okay,
the east
okay.
side.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
random, but Hoopers are no.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But
Because
yeah, so
man, listen.
Saint Cecilia though.
Yeah, yeah. Because listen, man, Detroit got some ballers, man. I know everybody talk about
Yes,
New York, and
yes,
rightfully so. But New York, Chicago, all these LA now. But Detroit got
yeah.
some ballers, man. Make no
No, bro.
mistakes.
Detroit, bro. Like, man, I'm trying to tell you, bro.
Word.
Detroit. It used to be like a battle between like Detroit and Chicago all the time because we
Yeah,
cousins. But we Midwest cousins. But like, bro, I done seen some ill shit in Detroit, my dog.
I already
Like
know.
Jalen Rose, like Bashan Leonard at the Saint, Lindsey Hunter at the Saint, putting up 52. Like to see him just coming there, just all work. You know what I'm saying? Wearing exclusive Jordan, the
Yeah,
Laker
yeah.
colored Jordans. It's
Yo,
like,
yo. By the way,
dog, like
hold on. By the way, do you remember? Was you with me? Was you with us when Lindsey Hunter was shooting around at our gym at Concordia?
at the gym at
Yeah,
Concordia.
I don't
Yeah,
know what was
yeah,
happening. Like we didn't even
hmm
like. I'm just walking to go get a snack or some shit to the, you know what I mean.
yep.
And then
That's how
suddenly
he
I look
was though.
inside and Lindsey Hunter was
Yeah,
shooting at our gym
that's
at
how he was
Concordia University. That
a
was
gym
dope.
rat, bro. Just a
Yeah,
straight
yeah,
gym
yeah.
rat,
He
and
just needed to
and
find a
like
gym. He was like, whatever.
he don't care. He gonna be in there shooting.
That
I
was
got
dope.
another crazy story, like even just growing up, right? So, and it's a crazy story, like to go back and even it's going to tell a lot. Like, but my brother that's right ahead of me, not the oldest one, so I got another one,
Mhm.
and they actually just retired his jersey at our high school, right?
Dope.
So, and yep, I'm very proud of him. So, I remember going to like every game he had in his high school career, right?
Mhm.
So he was gonna go to this school called Redford High School.
Okay.
At the time, it's 1998. They on fire, right? They probably had just went to the state championship. I don't know, like they was that good, right? So they was loaded this year, coming back with some seniors, everything. My brother's freshman year, he was starting point guard on varsity, right? And this was like unheard of at the time, especially for this coach, Coach Green at the time, hard nosed coach, right? Yelling Bobby Knight style. So he got my brother starting, and I mean not start. Forget all that. Season ain't even start yet.
Okay.
My brother about to go to Redford, so we're practicing in the summertime. We just like shooting around, warming up there with Redford all the time, working out, training with them.
Right.
Well, he is, of course. I'm just a little brother tagging along. Do you know I go in the gym one day and Howard Isley is in there shooting from half court and not missing 1-3?
Crazy.
Bro, Fernando, I'm talking about literally shooting from half
Lights
court
out.
like it's nothing.
That's crazy.
And I can't believe it. I'm like 9 at the time. I'm like, what? And that's another person. I go home and get Utah Jazz that day. I pick Utah Jazz. Trying to play the Howard Isley is not playing like how I just saw him shooting in the gym.
That's crazy. That's a good story, man.
Yeah, bro. So it'll be little things like that in my childhood where it's just like, this is crazy. Like I just seen this pro dude get and working, doing like and putting work in the summer. It's not the season time.
Yeah.
So as a kid, that's showing me like, dang, so this is what they got to do in the summer. So this how they get better.
Yeah. No doubt.
Oh, like, and he's not missing. Mm-hmm. And I know in them games, sometimes he might miss them shots. So that just go to show me that, like, oh, it's about repetition. He shot the same. I can remember this day how he was shooting that ball the same way every single time.
Muscle memory. So
that's,
no doubt.
Exactly, bro.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, one other thing, because you spoke on how we got the ballers. You remember the movie White Man Can't Jump?
Yeah, of course.
Did you know that was about a Detroit basketball player, bro?
Nah, I didn't know that, man. That's a dope story.
Detroit basketball player from the east side of Detroit. My brother literally had just sent it over like yesterday, and I was watching this clip, didn't know, and I can't remember the actor name, the main character.
The main character, yeah. Wesley Snipes, man.
No. Well, yeah, no.
The white dude.
No, Raymond. His name was Raymond in the movie.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The dude, the basketball player, was kind of good, but he came in and robbing the store and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that was a real story about an East Side Detroit basketball player.
That part. Okay.
Yeah, all that. Yeah. So people should look that up about this dude. Yeah, dude named Reggie though, back in the day, East Side cat, but he was
crazy.
That dude put up like 25 and 9 in his first game ever in the NBA against Wilt.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like no, crazy. Like yeah, but he couldn't shake a lot of the bad habits. He was known for robbing dope houses and stuff in Detroit. So like when you talk about basketball, bro, we have ballers, but it's a whole nother world to Detroit where it's like
no doubt, man. Yeah, unfortunately, a few brothers, man. He's not the only one. Quite a few brothers that couldn't get away from certain things, certain habits, and so they weren't able to either have a long career or even make it sometimes to the league because they had all the talent and everything, but they these circumstances that our brothers and sisters are born into sometimes
exactly.
are tough, man. It's no joke.
Exactly.
So. But let's get back real quick to so Mumford High School, and then and so then you end up at Concordia University, Ann Arbor.
Well, let me slow you down.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Real quick, and at Mumford. Mm-hmm. Because you got to understand, bro, I didn't expect to come to Concordia. Like, I honestly didn't know what I was about to do with my life. After high school. Right. Because, I've always been very entrepreneurial based. Right. So like, but, like I said, I had 2 hardworking parents. Mm-hmm. So I'm hooping and stuff. I'm pretty good as a hooper. I'm not like my brother, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm playing, like, it's Detroit, it's the PSL. So you got to be good. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting point guard for my team and shit.
No doubt.
So I'm doing my thing. And me and Mike, by 12th grade, me and Mike rocking, right? But in 10th grade is when Mike, because he got transferred, he transferred to our high school. So I didn't know Mike our freshman year. My freshman year, I do my thing. We go to like the state, like I was on JV, but we went to like the championship, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then here come Mike from this other school called Renaissance, which is a really good basketball school and shit.
Yeah. Hold on,
especially
real
at
quick,
that time.
real quick,
Okay.
man. My fault, real quick, just for context for the listeners. Mike is, you know, one of our homies. Is
Oh, yeah.
like one of Adubb's closest homies.
Yeah.
And you know, he played college ball with us as well. Then he went on to play.
Dog.
He went on to play for Division I, and then he played pro overseas for a few years. So yeah, that's Mike. That's Mike. It's Mike Dabney. So yeah, go ahead.
Yep. He was a dog. So he come over to Mumford and Renaissance in the summer. Like we in there working out for next season and shit. And I noticed like this tall, light skinned kid coming in, you know what I'm saying? Some of the players on the team, like, who was dog, like what's going on, whatever. So he ended up being good, you know what I'm saying? So like we like, damn, dog straight. And so me and him not really rocking though.
Okay.
And one day we come from a tournament in like at Michigan State. And with me being a point guard and he the big fella, you know what I'm saying? And there was some discrepancies like, man, dog ain't setting screens right or some shit like that. So, you know what I'm saying? So we up in Michigan State, we ball out, we come back from the tournament and shit. And like the coach dropping us all off. And Mike, like, I'm getting out of the truck. He like, hey, what you got up? I was like, I don't know shit. He's like, I'm about to leave go with my homie. You about to go to the state fair. Come through. I was like, all right, nigga, fuck you, but all right. You know what I'm saying? So then we link up, and then that's when I meet all my homies. You know what I'm saying? Because before then, I ain't really had, like, you know, I had all older brothers, so they older friends was my friends. You know what I'm saying? I only hung with older people. So at this time, it's like 10 grand. I'm like, man, fuck it. I might as well. So, and I forgot. So like my grandma had gave me a car. So I'm like, I'm in 10th grade and I'm whipping.
You was driving.
You know what I'm saying? I was the only person in high school really whipping. So it was like in the 10th grade. So I'm like, so then it was like, fuck it. So then later on that night, I go pick up Mike's dad. And then we shoot out to the state fair and I meet everybody, my homie Brandon, Sean, everybody, Tom from there. And we all, you know what I'm saying? And you don't look back. Okay. So that's 10th, 11th, you know what I'm saying? 12th, we going to continue our high school career. Come 12th grade year, you know what I'm saying? It's the end of the season. We balling and shit. But our coach was kind of like, we come to find out later on, like our coach was kind of, he wasn't giving us our recruitment letters. So like other than what was coming to my crib and shit, I ain't really got a clue of who really recruiting. And I wasn't the highest recruited player, but I had offers in like, you know what I'm saying, like JUCO, D2s, you know what I'm saying?
Smooth,
couple D1s that's small as hell, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, shit, I'd take whatever right now. You know what I'm saying? I'd do it. Like if I can go to college, get away from here, I'm trying to decide what do I want to do.
Word.
So my senior year, I applied to U of M.
Okay.
I want to go to U of M, right? I know for sure, like, man, damn, if I got to go to college, I'm going to go to U of M, right? Like, I love University of Michigan. Yeah. It just is what it is. I just want to go there. I like that school. My big sis had already went there, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man.
So at that point, are you like, fuck basketball? Or are you like, shoot, I might try out or what?
I'm already knowing that if I go to U of M, shit, I'm gonna go walk on or some shit.
Oh, you gonna try to walk on? Okay.
Yeah, hell yeah. Like, no, I'm good enough to go play. You know what I'm saying? If I really go work and put the work, I can go play and walk on and shit. But I know they're not giving me. I know they're not about to give me a scholarship off bail. They not. They about to recruit my dog Manny Harris and PD Sims from the East Side. You know what I'm saying? And Redford, as a matter, I just talked about Redford. That's where Manny Harris went.
Yeah.
And Manny Harris and PD was there our freshman year up at Concordia. You older than me, so that was your second year or something. But they came up there my year. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? True. Actually, Manny came a year after I did, so he was 1 year younger than me.
Yeah, I
so
remember
PD was already
Harris
there.
Was over there. Yeah.
Exactly, because PD was already there. So I got a whole nother story about that, about how college worked. But so I'm like, I'm just willing to get a scholarship to U of M or whatever. Just give me a partial. I don't care. Give me something. I'll come up there. So I don't get accepted, but they like, yo, just go to U of M Dearborn for a year, a semester, or something, whatever, and we'll let you come up here. I'm young. I'm like, Nick, I don't understand that. I don't
like, fuck Dearborn.
Yeah, no. Y'all telling me no? And I'm not a bad student, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, it was Detroit I am DPS. It's an inside joke for people here in Detroit because that's the commercial that come around on the screen, right? I am DPS, right? But it's like I was a good student and shit, right? So it was like, man, I can be at U of M, but they done denied me. Fuck that. So I'm just that type of person. If you don't want me, fuck you. Right? I'll go do my own thing. So I go to I'm like, man, I don't know. I just move on or whatever. One day after our senior year, Mike like, hey, you trying to go hoop? Mind you, I hadn't hooped in like 3 weeks because now our senior year over. I'm already like, man, I'm trying to still decide. Like, I might go to this school in Minnesota. I might go here. I might go. I don't know yet. Mike, like, you trying to come hoop? Where? The school up in Ann Arbor. All right. Fuck it. I ain't got nothing to do. At this time, I'm literally just chilling every day in the summer.
Right.
So I'm like, I'll come up there, go up there, open gym. We get the hooping. We hooping. All I remember is like, I don't know how I got a steal or something. And then I just took 2 dribbles. And me and Mike we've been playing together for the last 3-4 years.
Right.
Season, summer. So I just already knew, like, dog trailing. I get I'm gone, 1, 2, 3 dribbles. I ain't even got to look back. I just threw it off the glass. Here come Mike.
You went and got that bitch. Boom.
And then next thing I know, they like, after we hooping coach, like, hey, like, because they was recruiting Mike.
They was like, we need to combo over here.
Hey, you want dog? Like, you want what's up? Like, we give you a partial at least. You know what I'm saying? So, that's how I ended up at Concordia.
Cool.
Shout out to the dog. Shout out to my dog.
Yeah.
So that my bad. I had to cut you off because
shout out to Mike. Shout out to Mike dad. Yeah, man. That's crazy. That's a dope story. I didn't know that, man. I didn't know how the whole thing. But yeah, so y'all came in, my sophomore year, right?
Yeah, because it was you was already there. That's all. Because y'all was telling the story about how it was gonna be up there, and and I just remember that being such a pivotal year for y'all, for like the school, like the basketball program at least.
Yeah, no doubt.
And when we went out there and we're gonna get into that, but yeah, that's how I ended up there with you as your sophomore year.
Yeah, no doubt, man. At Concordia University, man. So, what was that like for you, man? Because you know how it is. Concordia University, it's lacking diversity. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for asking that.
When I first came to Concordia University, man, I was lucky that Marv was around. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to talk to him.
I remember seeing Marv.
You know what I mean? I was able to
Marv
talk
my
to him.
First time coming up there. Yeah.
I was able to talk to Marv, and for those of you who don't know, Marv Fox Jr., he was on the Vital Hoops podcast. So definitely check out that episode.
Check out that episode.
Become.
It's about good dude, Become. Good brother, dog. Good brother.
Yeah, no doubt.
He reminded me so much of Michael Jordan and Kobe at once. And it was like, but because he's from the city. He's from Detroit.
Yeah, he's from Detroit. Yeah.
He's from Detroit. And I remember just being like meeting, because like you said, it was lacking diversity up there. So he was one of the first brothers where I'm like, okay, bro, cool. Like, and he got work.
Yeah, no doubt.
He had work on the court. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
It was very fundamental, very go get his jump step and make a good solid pivot.
Yeah.
Make the right pass. Very good player. But
fundamental. That's how he ended up, training players, being a trainer,
exactly.
Training other players, man, no doubt.
Exactly.
Being real good at it, man. And I worked with him a lot, man, when I got done playing college ball, man. And I had to put in a lot of work with him in order to come over here to France and get a shot at playing pro, you know what I mean? So
yes, sir.
So again, shout out to Marv, man.
Yep. So you asked a great question. I'm sorry, we got into that. We got off into that. So when I was younger, I went to a private school, right? And for elementary, from like kindergarten to 6th grade, right? So I kind of grew it, and that was part of my hood fairy tale in a way. Like I went to this private school out in the Birds. It was cool, but I would come home to the hood every day. You know what I'm saying? Like we would come home to the hood, so I kind of had that balance.
Yeah.
So where it's like I always had that balance where I was always around different cultures growing up, right? And then, but only music I listened to was straight rap. I never listened to nothing else. Like only Dr. Dre, The Chronic, Snoop Dogg. I grew up very ratchet. I was at this private school, and then so ratchet that in 6th grade, in the talent show at Shrine, I performed Dr. Dre and Eminem off The Chronic 2001. I don't know why they let us perform that shit, but me and my homie Scott, we got it in. I was Dre, he was Eminem.
Hey man, I performed Coolio, Gangsta's Paradise in school.
Gangsta's paradise, though. You
Yeah.
feel me?
So you already know what time it is, man.
So, look, dog. So,
Yo.
yeah. So it was that kind of childhood, wherever in school. But then I couldn't wait to get to the hood.
No
So
doubt.
it was just like natural in our family where you're gonna go to Shrine. But then like my brother went to the school called Bovian, and it was a wild school. I just remember hearing about kids getting stabbed and shit. So I'm like, I can't wait to get to Bovian. I want to go to the hood. So
Mm,
that's middle school and stuff.
mm,
But now you don't understand as a kid when you switch in environments like that,
mm-hmm.
and then if you stay in an environment for that long, you gonna become it, or
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, adapt to it in some way.
Mm-hmm.
So when I left Shrine, kids would judge me and shit like, oh, he think he's smart. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, this school was hard as fuck out here. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
So I might look like Elon to these motherfuckers, but you know what I'm saying?
mm,
But it was that type of situation where it's like, so now I'm like, now homie want to fight me in the locker room at the gym. You know what I'm saying? So I
mm.
was like, nigga, fuck you. Like, get it in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
cause
yeah.
I ain't no hoe. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying? So it is. So I'm going through that, and then by 30 days in, like I'm the man in this bitch now. You know what I'm saying? So like ain't no problem. Everybody want to come over to the crib after school. We want to
or
come swimming. Everybody want to, you know what I'm saying? And then going even through high school, you going through metal detectors every day at school. People, we
mm,
got guns in school.
mm,
I started selling weed in high school. I'm going through a whole
mm,
change. I ain't even get into that. We only talked about basketball. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
I was a legend in 2 games like Pee Wee Kirkland in high school. You feel me? So I'm like,
Yeah,
and I got
yeah.
a story. We ain't got to get. But so when I get up to Concordia, it was like a culture shock. Like I don't know if you remember this, but at the beginning of the school year,
Mm.
I used to come to class 8 o'clock in the morning, bro. BBC hoodie, ice cream shoes. You know what I'm saying? At the time, it was the 501 Levi 501 jeans.
Yeah.
I'm fresh to death. 8 o'clock in the morning, people looking at me. People walking to class with pajamas. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And Crocs wasn't out at the time, but flip flop, the thong sandals.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? With they hoodie, not my hoodie, $350. They
Right.
like this hoodie is Amber County fit $10 from Target. Like I'm like, oh, I think I got it all wrong. And so that was a little bit of a change for me. So it's a culture shock to me. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck, I'm getting fresh for it at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Mm, 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 mm.
To roll out of my dorm room and walk to class to go learn.
Yeah.
But for my environment for the last it's the who gonna get the freshest
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
I'm trying to win best dress by the end of the year.
And
You
now over here at
need
Concordia, ain't nobody, everybody just whatever. Like they don't
it's
give a fuck
college,
about that kind
bro.
of shit. Yeah.
I'm trying to get in and get out this motherfucker. Ain't nobody thinking about
No
no.
doubt.
You did.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a
That's how
culture
it is,
shock.
man. Yeah, no doubt,
And that's
man.
how it was for me. Honestly, I was still wild. I was still very immature up there. Like I was
Mm,
still very immature. I was emotionally, you know what I'm saying? I was just young. I was wild.
mm,
Like, you know what I'm saying? But first, I'm out the crib, and me and Mike, we was already just like we was good kids and stuff in
mm,
school. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
We ain't gonna be out robbing, stealing, killing nobody, shit like that.
Nah, nah.
But nigga, where the party at?
Right, no doubt. Yeah, yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
For
Where is
sure.
the party tonight?
For sure. For
and
sure.
and how many girls gonna be there?
Yeah, no
And
doubt.
that was our mentality at the time, right?
Yeah,
And so
yes.
yeah, so yeah, so that was Concordia because you got to remember Concordia. I was there for that year,
Mm.
and I don't know if you remember, but how it happened. We went to that LA team trip.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Come on, man. We went out
Now,
to Cali.
and I'm gonna just end it with the Concordia stuff by saying this. That was the end of my college career, and I knew it was coming to an end. But yeah, that was the end of my college career. So that's even just a lesson for anyone involved. Because I gotta have these talks with my son now. Like the
Word.
young girls is on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey,
Mm-mm.
bro, this shit can cost you your whole shit in a blink of an eye.
No doubt.
So stay focused, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it
Yeah, you
ain't
gotta
worth
stay
it.
focused and disciplined, man. Discipline is key, man. This
Exactly.
self-discipline, self-motivation, man. You gotta
Yeah.
dig deep and you know what I mean? No doubt, man.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
But yeah,
So
that California trip was fun though, man.
exactly. That's that. So, but yeah, took it as a lesson learned, moved on. But I'm still wild. I'm
Yeah.
still lit. What do? I leave Concordia. So
Mm,
mind you, like I tell you this, Mike gave me some ammo because that's my dog. Like me and him was thick as thieves. So we still are. So the thing is, coach, you gotta remember, I got the partial. Mike had a full ride and shit. I was working to get my full ride that sophomore year. Remember, they was losing a couple senior point guards, so it was like that. I could come in, I can be able to do my thing.
Cool.
So they like, Dub, you suspended indefinitely. Mike, we want you, so we gonna holler at you. They have a meeting. I remember standing right outside the door, and I heard Mike tell coach, like, we got big plans, coach. I'm sorry. And what Mike meant by that is, we about to go do this shit called Finally Famous and all this other shit back at the crib.
Yeah,
we're not even thinking about. Yeah,
let's get into that, man.
Even, so I come home that summer, 07. Wow. First thing I do is buy a motorcycle.
Yeah.
You feel me? First thing I do,
remember that. I remember that. Yeah.
I come home, buy a motorcycle. All right. Come home, buy a motorcycle. I'm back at the crib now. I don't have a clue what I'm about to do. So at this point, I'm like working out.
You were still young and wild with that motorcycle, man.
I was dumb, young, dumb, and full of you know what. Rhymes with dumb. So I'm like, bro, and God rest in peace. I gotta say this because even today when I'm about to line my hair up, you know who taught me how to line myself up?
Who?
Even because I was about to do a quick rush one today. Mel. Mel, man.
Yo, my brother Mel, man. Melvin Jenkins, rest in peace. No doubt, man. No doubt.
Rest in peace, Melvin Jenkins. That was a life lesson to me. Just to touch on Concordia real quick. You know, that whole situation. We found out that brother from someone stepping on his foot that he had a cancer. You know what I'm saying? Affected his whole body. I went to his funeral. That's one thing I did do. And I'll be very grateful. I rode my motorcycle actually out there. Out to like Ipsy, like out in Ipsy, like out there in that area. Damn, bro. That shit got me. Yeah. Rode my motorcycle out there to check on, like, to, see Mel get laid to rest. Because he was vital to that team, bro.
Yeah.
He showed me like what discipline and just persistence and strength look like. You know what I'm saying? For real.
Yeah, man. No doubt.
And he always was happy. So after that, so that was like my last touch with Concordia. Like after that, like I just ain't looked back, right? So then we started the Finally Famous thing that summer because my major in college was business administration. My minor was marketing. So what I did not like is that, hey, you got to go here for 2 years before you can get into the school of business.
Okay.
In my world, I've been in business since I was 15. I had an epiphany when I was in 10th grade in my English class that the word entrepreneur just popped up in my brain. I can't tell you how, where, why. I don't know. And I just knew ever since then, like, that's it.
That's what you want to do.
And then, like I said earlier, and I had my own, unfortunately, my street business at the time. And then, you know what I'm saying? But I knew, like, hey, this is what I'm going to do. So come home, start our thing. We formed this, the company Finally Famous. Same group of friends from that I went to the state fair with in 10th grade when Mike made me go to the state fair. You know what I'm saying? So
So talk about that a little bit. Talk about the roster, man. So let the listeners know, man.
So at the time, Mike, he was friends with the co-CEO, one of the co-founders, Brandon Washington at the time, and they were like neighbors, stayed up the street from each other. So Brandon and Mike knew each other. Brandon and Sean and our friend Ralph went to elementary school together. So they all went to a school called Gawdier and like downtown Detroit. It's a school of arts, beautiful school. And so that's where the connection came.
Right. And
then and Big
Sean,
so
that's Big Sean. Yeah.
Yep. So in high school, even though Kanye was coming out at the time. So Kanye came to my school, matter of fact. I remember Kanye came in like 2004. He was promoting Through the Wire. You know what I'm saying? And he had to come up there and he performed the shit, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's not when Sean met Kanye, right? So that's like a whole nother story. So because that was 2004, like I said.
Okay.
So we're like sophomores in high school at the time.
Yeah.
So we're after college.
Because when I remember when the one time we went to a party with y'all and and I met Sean and all that and you was already telling
Yeah.
me, like, you was already telling me by that time, yo, Kanye's looking at this dude.
And
Kanye's fucking with
I
Sean.
didn't want to get off Concordia so
Mm,
fast too, though, bro.
mm,
Because you gotta remember how pivotal Concordia was
mm.
to just like me and Mike, bro. Like
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and Finally Famous, bro.
Word.
Like you just said, like you making me remember. Like I told myself, like make sure I slow down and touch on all that shit with you, because bro, you was there.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But do you remember Facebook coming out at
Hell
that
yeah. I
time?
remember. I remember at the time you could only get in if you had a college email.
A
Remember that
college
shit? You
email.
had to have a college email. Yeah, yeah, I remember.
You feel, bro? That's what I mean. Like, so, bro, you came into our lives at such a pivotal, transitional time, bro. Like,
Word.
we'll never be able to get those years back, dog. With just how
True,
the
true,
world was changing.
true.
So,
So talk to let the listeners know a little bit about
so,
yeah, what Finally Famous is really all about.
so
And what's
what we do is we come home. So I'm like, yo, fuck the business administration shit and all that shit. I can go start my own business. I don't need the school of business. And I got a team, you know what I'm saying? We can go do it. We got to go figure it out. So, we just young, we friends, we got dreams, right? So it's like, all right, cool. Because I live such a dual life, DUAL, dual life, like a duality in life,
yeah.
because it's like I always had a weird balance. Like my brothers are only basketball, strictly nigga about to go to the NBA, bro. But it's like, and then I come with the rapping shit, making beats. I had written a song when I was 9 years old called "My Dogs," featuring Royce the 5'9" in my imagination, in my
Yeah,
head.
yeah.
I wrote it down though, like you know what I'm saying. And that's gonna come full circle. So, because I just knew about that. You asked about childhood, so you gotta remember we talked about sports only. Another part of my childhood, I got a cousin. We'll go over to their house on 7 Mile in Greenfield, Foyer, and he was a DJ. So I'm seeing a whole turntable. It looked like Juice.
Word.
94, the movie Juice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Real DJ. And up the shop, on the corner of their shop was the hip hop shop. I don't know if you ever heard of this.
Nah.
Well, you seen 8 Mile.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the hip hop shop.
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? That's what the hip hop shop was. It was that in the shelter.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
literally what the hip hop. It was just a battle. That's where all the Eminem would be down there. Royce would be up there. Proof. The whole the
Everybody make their
world
names out. All the real MCs out there. Yeah, yeah,
right
yeah.
there.
Sure. Okay.
Mind you, I got another tidbit, another jewel.
Huh.
I grew up on a street called Santa Rosa and 6 Mile over here in the hood. Right across the street from my grandma's house was a rapper named Beretta.
Okay.
And this group called the Raw Collection.
Okay.
But who was his cousin that used to live over there with them too? Swifty McVeigh.
Okay.
From D12.
Yeah.
So this is my
All
hood
legends.
fairy life childhood,
yeah,
right?
For sure.
Like can't make this shit up. So I had always had that dual, you know what I'm saying, XYZ. So high school, that's when I started making beats.
Yeah.
Dude that Finally Famous, early Mac, he taught me how to he go get Reason. Him and Jay John showed me how to get this program Reason, make beats. I started doing that like 10th grade. But I always wrote raps as a kid and shit. Now, here we are, a little older, we out of college. Now, at this point, I done decided I'm not going to school, so I'm back home. But Sean and Tone, Big Sean, Tone, Say It Ain't Tone, it was a couple of I think early Mac was still at school. Just a lot of them that decided not to go to college.
Right.
They were still in the city, like working jobs and just trying to get shit together to try to be, you know what I'm saying, get the music shit cracking. They were still focused on straight. Like Sean knew, like, ain't no college. Like, I ain't going to college. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to rap. You know what I'm saying? And he knew that since he was a kid. You know what I'm saying? He hooped and shit, but it wasn't. Like, he knew it was different. You know, his mom and they had shit on Big Sean had shit on the wall, like, as a kid, where it's like, yo, I'm gonna read this every day until I manifest this shit. Like, he was taught manifestation at a very young age, right?
Okay.
And like, so you know what I'm saying? So he already knew, like, I'm going to be a rapper. Nothing else to it, right?
No plan
Even
B.
at this time.
No plan B.
No fucking plan B, bro. Like, this nigga's gonna be a rapper.
Right.
Like I told you, I'm 15. I'm still, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a bad kid at all. I ain't been no robbing still. I already said that earlier. I ain't into none of that. But I used to do my little thing. I had my little weed, had my little sack, and sell my little, do my thing. But that was about it, right? Just to keep some money in my pocket, and because at the time my parents went through a divorce, so that's another. My hood fairy tale was over. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
had to go do what I had to go do.
Mm.
So I want the new J's. I'm gonna go. Nigga, I want some new Cartiers. I'm gonna go sell a couple ounces or whatever. Do what I gotta go do.
Mm.
So that's how I was moving at this time. You know what I'm saying? All through from high school. Like
Okay.
got caught with weed one day on the day of a game, everything. So,
Okay.
so 2007. You know, we got back to the city that summer, and like I said, some were already home.
Mm-hmm.
Some were away at college. Actually, some did go to college because the roster was a collective of 10 to 11 people, right?
Right.
Roughly like 10 to 11 people.
Mm-hmm.
And Finally Famous, I used to like we was like a combination of Rockefeller, Dipset,
Mm.
with like a Wu-Tang,
Mm.
right? That's how I used to look at us because it
Uh-huh.
was like the Wu-Tang vibe came from us just all being individuals.
Okay.
Like we were all individuals, but it felt magical at the time because the camaraderie, the team, like, you know what I'm saying? We had a goal, you know what I'm saying? A
Yeah.
vision.
Yeah.
So, um, and out of the 11 people, it wasn't just, all rappers and all, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Like
Right. Right.
everybody, we all just about to rap because our
Nah.
homie
Nah.
rapping. Like, it was not that. Like, we constructed it, we organized it as a real business at the age of 18. We were young,
Mm.
you know what I'm saying? But we did a real thing. And like, even some of the older people in our city who were older than us at the time,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? They used to come to us like, man, y'all the only young cats moving like this. Like, y'all
Word.
got a photo shoot. Y'all got all the fly chicks from the city and y'all photo shoots. Like,
Mm.
y'all, we ain't seen nobody do this. So
Giving y'all
what we
props
did
early. Yeah. Yeah. That's
early,
what's
and
up.
these were at the time they were the party promoters who had already been on the scene in the city.
Mm.
So at the time, we didn't know what we doing. We just throwing a fucking party.
Mm.
We just coming to do what we've been doing. We the young fly niggas in our city,
Mm.
and we coming. We're gonna invite a whole bunch of friends and girls, and we just gonna come to our party at the
Right.
club. So what we did is that first year at the Concordia, I remember leaving school. I remember just knowing like, man, my grades so fucked up. I'm out. I ain't do a couple tests. I just left. And then so all I know is that we came home and we got right to work.
Mm.
So we started having like meetings and shit and constructing shit and just weekly, daily meetings. And it was like no party and shit. We was having meetings.
Yeah.
And then we assigned shit. We came up with name. We came up with the name Funny Thing. We wrote it all down. Wrote a whole bunch of names on piece of paper. We chose that. Came up with that. And then we started doing like shit. So I'm like, hey, I got a motorcycle, and I already be out at the clubs every night. At this time, I'm still party. I'm party animal, bro.
Hard.
So all I'm doing is party, and I had a job. I worked at Comcast at the time.
Okay.
So, you know what I'm saying? I was the head of the street team for Finally Famous, right? So I'm
Right.
like, cool. Built my team out it's really crazy at the time. So like, and Key Wayne is younger than us. You know the producer Key Wayne?
Yeah.
So he's younger than us. And shout out to Key Wayne. I was the street team, head of the street team, and then that was like my about to be my right hand. Like he was at the
Okay.
time. Like, hey, all right, bet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Key Wayne, young as hell, he gonna work, he cool. You know what I'm saying? Like he quiet. Let's just have him like do flyers and shit.
Mm.
And, you know what I'm saying? And he was rolling with me like we'd be out working. That was you know what I'm saying? Me, him, and Mike, of course, because it just me and Mike all the time.
Yeah.
So we got this event we come up with called Schools Out. So we like, shit, let's do Schools Out May 9th, 2007 at this club called Plan B. So we like, all right, cool. We out passing out flyers, for like 30 days straight now. It's like all of April going into May. It's
Right.
getting closer and closer to the date. And so at the time, Sean had been working all that year while we was away at school and shit. Like he was kind of like Kanye had just started getting back in contact with him and sending up like good music, started sending over paperwork and shit for him to sign and
It
shit.
was getting
So it
serious.
finally started happening, started getting
Mm.
serious.
Mm.
So now we like bet. So then we like in '07, let's do this party, Schools Out. So what we did is we had a party at this one club called Plan B, but it was technically three clubs in one.
Mm.
So it was like Plan B, and we had like this thing called the Pussycat Lounge over here. That was like gonna be the super VIP area. And we had another place downstairs. So came here, we put all our money together, we pulled all our money together, rented out the club, Shout out to Andrews. He was the owner at the time. He's still running around here doing his thing. He's the club owner. Um, so what happens is Kanye he makes a video for us for Sean and Finally Famous,
Okay.
and it says like, I just want to let y'all know pretty much how he got changed, right? Like it's the newest member of the, you know what I'm saying, of
Okay.
good music. And he was like, I just want to give a shout out to Big Sean and Finally Famous, you know what I'm saying? And nobody knew we were gonna play this video. But at the time, Blu-ray disc had just come out. So who the fuck has a Blu-ray player? Nobody.
Right.
Like you was lucky to have a DVD. So our homie B Wash, shout out to B, day of the party, he spent 600, go get a PS3. Think at the time. Shit was the newest looking thing I ever seen. Look like a fucking spaceship.
Right.
Couldn't believe it. He bought this damn PS3 just to play the video for us at the party, dog.
Mm.
And that shit set us on fire. Crazy. So
That's what's up.
that was our first party, and that shit sold out. So we just did numbers, and that was the beginning of our promoter day. That was like just a very pivotal time, and that's how we got started with the whole party promotion, things of that nature. And Finally Famous was a name officially in the city of Detroit then.
Word.
And yeah,
no doubt. So yeah, so like you did your thing also, as an MC for a while. You came out with
yes, sir.
few projects.
Yes,
And
sir.
what else? What else did you do? What else do you do? What are you into now,
So
man? Nowadays, what do you do, my brother?
Great. So what we did is we built off of it, so we just kept momentum going. So I pretty much just dived headfirst into the industry, right? Like any and everything with it, just as far as like songwriting, producing, like you said, rapping. So I even because once you get into the music business, you get to learn like, okay, it's avenues, and you know what I'm saying, it's ways to make money, you know what I'm saying. So and it used to be a thing with me, like as far as even when I started taking the music part serious, right? Like where it's like, okay, I'm about to be in the studio, I got to put a project together. Like when it happened, like that was just one thing for me that even I was very different. I was always kind of blessed with like a foresight, right? Of knowing what's to come next, right? So even when you just ask me like, what am I into next? I'm gonna get to that. But at the time during the Finally Famous thing, I was strictly like, I'm a role player, right? Even in basketball, I was a point guard, you know this. So like as a point guard, I know what the two man about to do on this play before he go do it. I know what the small forward about to go do. I know what the power forward about to go do. I know what the center is about to go do. Right. And I direct shit.
Yeah.
And so even then, that's how we were moving. So I'm cool with playing my role. I know my role. I'm a team player and shit like that. So just so happened though, my beats started getting a little better, but they're not quite where I want them to be. And then in like 2007, 8, in that summer being home, I get hit up by a homie, Young Rock. He a dope producer. He started sending me beats. Next thing I know, I literally just pull up at his crib one day to go record a random song. I'm just playing around. And that shit was sweet. And we put it out on YouTube in 07, 08. You know what I'm saying? And people were like, oh shit, Doug going crazy. So, and that was, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, bet. And I started catching momentum and catching motion with that. And then at this time, so we're going into 07, 08, like the time we like, just in the studio, we putting shit together. Our main focus at the time was Sean. That's why I'm like, I'm cool with I can rap and all this shit, but hey, he need the bars right now. He need the sauce. He need the, you know what I'm saying? So bro, my name is Adubb the Gawd. So, where God, oh God, like all that shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool with being a team player. And you know what I'm saying? Now, and that's what was my main focus. So then, like, oh wait, we put out we worked like heavy on his mixtape for Big Sean, and then that shit, that was like the one that kind of it led him to having an album. So now we kind of like going to record in LA and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And going to do a show in Chicago, and you know what I'm saying? We out there, we really we moving in the mix in the shy and shit. So Now
Okay.
I'm learning the business, and you know what I'm saying, I am developing into an artist as well at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Because it's natural, it just come with the shit, especially when you already doing beats. You know how it is.
Word.
So we doing all that, and then what we do is '09 we throw a party. We still doing Finally Famous as a promotion, like you know what I'm saying. So we do in 2009 we bring Wiz to Detroit, and it's a shout out to Wiz, shout out to Taylor Gang, shout out to Will, co-owner of Taylor Gang.
Okay.
Like they said a lot, like we gave Wiz his first big check, right? So we were still coming up on music side and promotion and concerts. So now we trying to develop that into throwing concerts and trying to get bigger. But at the same time, we'll put Sean on the show to keep getting his name out there.
Yeah,
And then and at this same time, so this is big too, because now we're involved in other artists, i.e. Mike Posner. We'll
Yeah.
have him come perform, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And
Okay.
Dusty McFly. So now we just trying to build Detroit up at the time and trying to be like, man, like we see like, all right, if Def Jam gives like we can go over here to Atlantic, we can go do shit in the industry. So and even at the time, like I still my focus isn't strictly like to go in here and make a project, right?
Right.
But it was like I'm up on stage shaking my dreads crazy at the time. I done dyed my hair red at the time. This was all new. This was not like cool at the time. Like people wasn't doing this shit. So
Right.
at the time I didn't get and like Twitter popping. So now I'm like this personality on Twitter type shit. You know what I'm saying? Back for 2009 where
Word
it's
up.
you know what I'm saying, I got heavy emotion. So it's like it led me to definitely, like I said, Young Rock, after we start cooking, he understands sonics and sounds and he's a hell of a producer. He started putting me on shit. He started making my vocals sound good on the track, all that type shit where it's like, damn, I feel way more comfortable hearing myself rap. And then it's like, okay, now I know how to do the, you know what I'm saying? Then I started getting into the technical side of being in the booth and rapping and putting songs together and putting projects together and shit like that. So that's how I got into that. Him and I actually made a song in, I think it was like 2009. So what happened? I'll say this. I got to bring this full circle for you.
Go ahead.
So I knew like my artistry and shit was getting real because remember I told you about that song I wrote in my notebook
Yeah.
as a kid. So it's like 2011. We done brought Drake to the city, right? So now that was like 10. So now it's like 2011. And that was Drake's first time come like being in Detroit like on some show shit. Like it
Okay.
was unheard of. So now it's 2011, 12, we're working. Sean is on like a tour. He's on a tour. I remember going out to Atlanta and coming back for something, but he's out on a tour. But while he's out on that, because we go like and do spot dates and shit. Sometimes just go like if you could, you can go out there, right? So, but like I'm still trying to figure it out. So I ain't the richest, you know what I'm saying? We still trying to figure this shit out.
Right.
So Young Rock got cool with Denon Porter through a friend, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And Denon Porter is Eminem's hype man and best friend and fucking producer, legendary, iconic rapper, everything, right? So he opened his doors to us, to the studio. Like I remember the first time going up there, and I was just in shock because it's like, damn, it's Denon Porter, dog. This is
Yeah.
Noni, motherfucking producer. Like motherfucking shit be banging, knocking all that cold shit. You don't even know like the shit he done did.
Yeah.
So in the studio, like he said, he talking like that night. All I remember is like being up because we was up late as fuck, and that's when I learned like he go hard because it's like ain't no sleep. I started seeing how professional work like that's super professional at his job, and he's gonna sit in this bitch till the sun come up, playing on that MPC, playing on that MPC, and as he's talking to us and giving us game, he look over at me and he like, I know you cold. Mind you, he ain't heard a word. I ain't rapped a syllable. He like, I know you hard. And I'm just like, I'm looking like, he playing some hard ass beats. I'm like, he must be looking at somebody else in this bitch. The whole time he playing beats, I'm rapping in my head and shit. He was like, cause you just like 50. You just like 50 Cent. He's like, you quiet. You soaking up shit. He's like, I can tell you an animal.
Yeah.
And for me, bro, like I told you how my childhood was, like my retailer in the living room and shit. Like
Yeah.
this shit just always been around that shit that it's like I'm just the type that I don't really care about the fame and shit, bro. I'm big on money. I'm an entrepreneur, serial investor, like to the fullest. I just want the fucking money. So to hear like the non-porter look at me and say that shit, because I already know how cold I am.
Mm.
But for him to look at me and say that to me, he ain't heard a word from me.
Yeah,
Like that type of shit is validation to me.
no doubt.
But so that was where I was like, damn. And I did, and that shit was like motivation. That was something that kind of propelled me. Like, damn, make sure let me lock in with Young Rock.
Mm.
Cause Rock is up here. Now this is, you know what I'm saying? He mentoring Young Rock at the time. So,
Yeah.
or, you know, even to this day and shit. So it's like, this is a good thing. So me and Rock locked in. So now I got, it's a producer rapper combo with me and Young Rock. We still doing our Finally Famous thing, but I'm understanding now that nigga, you becoming an artist, dude. So the street team shit already set in place. So promotion is already there.
Mm.
It's just now I got to sit down and focus on this part of the shit if I'm gonna do this.
Right.
So, and that's what I locked in on at the time and made my first project. Got some management, got a management team, moved around the city, did our thing. So what happened is me and Young Rock made a banger, and that was my first time having a song go on radio. So
Okay.
I was hyped, like I'm lit, like damn, we got shit here in the city going crazy. Radio, I'm on radio, I'm popping.
Yeah.
Do another one, boom, another song on radio. But like on radio here is it makes shows and shit like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's nobody's gonna play it on the radio. So it's like now I'm building confidence. I'm knowing like, damn, I don't got one song on me. I got two. Shout out DJ Mo Beats who starts spinning this shit like on his little free ride at fives and shit like that. And DJ BJ throwing my shit on 107.5, like on their shows, and Shorty the Prince linking up and doing shit with us and making content at the time. And it just, it's so then we go to perform our first show, like where I'm performing,
Yeah.
and it's Halloween. It's a party. It's a party. So it's like a event. Young Rock and I are going to perform, and so I don't know. I just put on like my cousin. My cousin had a mink or some shit. Like I just grab a mink and put on a mask, just some silly shit. Don't got a real costume. So me and Young Rock about to go perform the new song that we just recorded at Danon's studio because Danon opened up the studio to us. Young Rock got a room in the back. We in that bitch grinding,
Yeah.
grinding.
No doubt.
At the time, Sean and them on tour, so they
Mm-hmm.
gone. So I'm pretty much doing my grassroots shit here in the city. Me and Young Rock building, we working.
Mm.
So I'm like, he like, let's perform the West Side Rebel song. Like, cool, that shit. It's on radio.
Yeah.
He like, and it's a good song. So he like, let's perform that. And this, we had a song called Brain at the time. It's still one of my, bro. I don't promote this song one bit, and it's my most spent. It get played the most on SoundCloud and YouTube and shit. Like,
Brain.
it's yes, it's crazy, bro. Featuring Shorty the Prince. So and Young Rock. So we we go to perform that shit, right? So it's a Halloween party. It's a college crowd, Wayne State University down here, and we always knew like because we would always kind of stop our parties and let people perform.
Uh-huh.
So the crowd hate that shit, right? They hate that shit. Like, don't stop us from twerking, having a good time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
just to hear some nobodies perform. So we get up there, like I got my whole hood come to support me and shit, right?
Yeah.
So like I got, and they all older than me, so I got the OGs. They got some OG 6 Mile niggas with me, and like you know what I'm saying. So they ain't been to college in 20 years at the time, like how I feel, like right. So I got my G's with me, so they like you know coming to the stage. Adubb, the guy, Young Rock. We come out, we do our thing, we rapping. It get to my verse, I'm rapping. Do you know? Do you know that crowd start booing? Like I'm rapping like I ain't even got about 2 bars in, 3 bars in. They booing. I'm like, damn, this can't be real. Like, but in my head, I just had some type of calmness about me. I'm like,
Yeah, you kept rocking.
I kept rocking, bro. Like,
Yeah.
your foot, like, and I know this verse hard, bro. Know this verse hard. I'm rapping. And I get to this one bar where I be like, AI be balling in Philly like a 76er. 7 Mile, 6 Mile, my niggas will hit you. And like when I said that bar, bro, the fucking crowd was like,
What'd he just say?
oh. Literally while I'm rapping, the crowd said, oh. And I knew then, oh yeah, I'm cold. I'm
You
sorry.
had
Like,
him. You had
so
him.
I knew then, like, I had them, and like, all right, like, because I have always battled with that confidence, you know what I'm saying? Like, just little shit like that. Because, like I
Yeah.
said, I'm the youngest of four boys. I've always been very self-taught, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And I ain't like, I just always been on my own. I taught myself how to play pool. I taught myself how to swim. I taught myself how to rap. I taught myself how to make beats for real. Like,
Word.
or I had some people guide me, but I taught myself how to do carpentry and homes and real estate. Like, I taught myself how, you know what I'm saying? So that
Yeah.
rapping shit was one thing where it's like, damn.
Mm.
And going back to the childhood, and I wrote that shit in my book. Another point, being at Denon Porter studio,
Mm.
who's in the studio all of a sudden with him, and that's
Who?
his studio co-owner with him.
Who?
Fucking Royce the 5'9".
Yeah. Another legend.
But do you see the how it in sync you got to be with the universe and how it
Yeah.
all come full circle? Going back to me writing that fucking song in my notebook, bro, as a
No
kid,
doubt. Yeah.
really feeling like, damn, like,
For sure. For
you know what
sure.
I'm saying? So, yeah.
That's
So
dope, man.
all that inspired me to be
Mhm.
like, you know what I'm saying? And then getting critique from him
Yeah.
and his little brother, Kid Vicious. Kid Vicious telling me, like, Doug, you cold. Like, you got this modern sound, but like mixed with like the old school. Cause at the time I used to be studying heli, like, to become a rapper, bro. This is a great point, even for artists, bro, that's listeners on your show.
Mm-hmm.
When I decided that I'm about to transition from this street team part to this rap, like being an artist,
Mm-hmm.
for one, I know I gotta put work now. I'm rapping with motherfucking with dog. Big Sean is sitting. He don't leave the studio. Motherfucker
Yeah.
sitting there and work all day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I know what it is to, and I'm getting advice. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing the advice firsthand from Kanye. Hey,
Yeah.
this is what the industry. This is what we about to be on right now. It's only bars right now. You got to every bar, no bars off type
Mm.
shit. You got to come with it. And it's like, damn, I'm seeing him make Sean rewrite a fucking verse 50 times.
Mm.
It's like, and I know this nigga cold.
You seen the work for real. Hands on.
So it's like, so as soon as I realized, all right, yeah, like they want you to, people want to hear from you.
Mm.
And then I knew like that, I immediately, which I already grew up on all the shit, but I immediately went and studied all like just the classics again.
Yeah.
Because you know, like even if you listen to a classic now, bro, if you go listen to It Was Written
Yeah.
compared to when you listen to it when you was 33 or you know what I'm
Whole
saying?
different.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. Of
I'm sorry,
course.
23 or
Yeah.
13. It's just you
No
gonna
doubt.
hear different
Yeah.
shit
Yeah. It's like
and
it's
hear
like
Nas on there. Yeah,
it's like a book, man. You read a book again, you read like the autobiography of Malcolm X, you read it now again, you're gonna catch some new things, you know what I mean? You get some new jewels that you ain't get before. And it's the same with music, with legendary albums, you know what I mean? That's how it
fact,
is. Yeah.
fact,
No doubt,
bro.
man.
That was that time. So now we're like kind of in a whole new thing. We still Sean is like Sean doing his thing, but at this time he's on like his third I don't album. Like at the Dark Sky Paradise, it's kind of like where we just kind of like all right, we gonna go figure this IBGM thing out. I'm still doing my Rebel Forever thing. So
Yeah.
at the time, Mike and I was that's why I'm still on radio on my own. So I'm doing my thing. I'm doing my own shows. Me and my DJ Limelights, we performing doing our thing. So IBGM needs a DJ. So I'm like, well, shit, me and Limelight's killing our shows. I'm getting paid to do shows at the time. So at the time, the music industry was fucked up, bro. You couldn't, it wasn't no money in the shit. It was
Mm,
transitioning.
mm.
So it was going from the CDs and shit to
To digital, yeah.
digital and even flash drives and shit.
Yeah.
People used to walk around handing out flash drives of music on you, put it in your computer and go
Yeah.
download the shit and then put it onto your CD and ride around in your car to it.
Mm.
So this shit was all changing, bro. In the midst of all this shit. So now, and I heard Nipsey say it the best. Rest in peace, Nip.
No
But I heard
doubt.
him say it the best. Like we learning how to fly the plane while it's in the air.
Mm.
That was what our generation was like in the
That's
music shit,
true.
bro. If you
We
was
ain't
in
had
that
no
shit
other
from
option. No option. You
bro,
have to
if
learn.
you was in this shit from '08, like '07, '08, '09, 2010 era, oh my goodness, bro, you had to learn and keep it and stay afloat, motherfucker. Cause yeah, so you was spending your own money to make your album and shit in the studio and shit, and then you was
Mm,
going away and giving that shit for free, and then you get your money off doing your shows. So we
mm.
going around killing the colleges. I'm getting my show money from colleges and shit, and but you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't no streaming then. So I dropped my first
Right.
like big single called Don't Shoot in the City. And that shit was the first song on like iTunes at the time, 2010. mother people wasn't putting their credit card on no fucking phone to go. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it wasn't a thing then. So that was that whole transitional era, bro. And then by now with now we doing the IBGM and streaming is a thing, but you were going like our shit came out on live mixtapes. Shout out to live mixtapes. Pesh, what up? Things like that. Brian, what up? So it was like you work with live mixtapes. Like they released my first major project. I had my first major project like on my own mixtape. That was a big thing for me. You know what I'm saying? That's my baby.
Word.
Rebel with me. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to my dad, and we built that shit. And so that's how I built the name for myself. Like where it's like artistry, cool. So
Mm.
then we did the IBGM shit. Now we're a conglomerate moving around over Dej Low, Said Ain't Tone, myself, Dre Sconey as well. And that's where that was a whole nother thing. Like I said, where it just like I was able to learn a lot about marketing in that experience. We had AC, who's a cool ass uh, female in the music industry that's just a pioneer, an innovator on a marketing guru,
Mm.
just a genius, good person. So she was working with us at the time, and I was just able to learn a lot. I Instagram marketing things, post at this time on this date, get more, XYZ, use this filter, literally the critiques, the smallest shit about it. So learn like the technicals of that part. And then in IBGM, I actually also had a lot of roles in that shit to where it's like management. Like even I at that time it was just a full on grind. Like we were building a production company. So where
Yeah.
it's like, hey, like we had a studio booked out. If these artists want to go get studio time, hit up Adubb. You know what I'm saying? Type thing. So
Okay.
it's like I'm like just entrepreneur, bro, just working and building. So
For
it
sure.
was fun, bro. Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right. Yeah, yeah, no doubt, man. So then from all that, we come to, you know, what's going on today with cannabis and urban farming, right? So tell me a
Yes,
little bit
sir.
about that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah, please.
Yes, sir. Just the whole urban agriculture. I want to say it here first. That is the future. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? I believe it's the future. Um, in many ways. Um, so what happened is like 2014ish, we were still doing the IBGN thing, like try me day. We touring and shit, we going crazy. And I was always just like I always had this thing about me, bro, where I told you in 10th grade, entrepreneurship just popped
Mm.
in my brain. So
Mm.
and I remember in like Ohio one night, Dage like pulled me to the side and was like, duh, like I need like you should be on the road more. Like, come on. I'm like, I'm fucking with that, but I'm starting some new shit back at the crib.
Okay.
And I'm like, I feel like I need to go and like focus on that.
Mm.
And at the time, I'm blessed with foresight once again, like I said, so I could already see shit happening with what we were working on. I could tell like, and where it's like I ain't got no say so in this shit. So I'm
Mm.
about to watch the cookie crumble, kind of in a sense. And
Mm.
so I was like, I'm gonna just focus on what I'm focused on. And I felt bad because I know Dage meant that shit out of love and shit, you know what I'm saying, and genuine. But I was like, I'm about to go. I think this is the future. So at the time, I went and focused on cannabis.
Mm.
And at the time in Michigan, we was like one of the only states where our laws were beautiful. Like we had kind of like California adjacent laws.
Okay.
So it was like, and so I had like an OG who, once again, here come Mike. You know what I'm saying? And he like, hey, I think you rock with Dog over here. He got, you know what I'm saying? He own these stores, XYZ, and this is what he be on. So I noticed like, damn. And he told me like, hey, this shit is legal. Like, get your paperwork, go do XYZ, you know what I'm saying? Paperwork party. And I started reading up on the laws and reading up on everything because I did have mentorship though in that world. So I had somebody who was blessed. They had traveled from Cali, and because of the laws here, they was able to move their family here and get a good thing going here because this is where they're from. And then they started showing me the way. So like I was making heavy sacrifices at the time too. Like
Yeah.
I was like bouncing back. So and yeah, I remember I'm a parent. I had a son at 20. So
Yeah.
in the midst of all this shit, I'm a parent on top of all this shit, trying to be a parent. And so I started learning the industry, learning the laws, but now dispensaries were coming into play.
Mm.
So you didn't just have to grow. So now it's like, okay, you can have dispensaries in Michigan now. People can come in if they have a medical marijuana card, they can purchase cannabis at a dispensary.
Mm.
So for a couple of years, I was like just out in the world running it up because they had like little, you know, it was way you could grow for your patients and things of that nature. So when a dispensary thing came into place, like cool. I had a friend who Mike and I Mike played with him at Bowling Green. Shout out to D Brown. He played with him at Bowling Green. Mike brought him from into music shit, like on management shit with us when I had them Rebel shit popping, our Rebel Forever production company. That's my Rebel. Mike and I got Rebel with me. And so with that production company, we brought in D Brown in the fold just to help with assisting, day-to-day management, things like that, getting shit done. And he's just a hard worker. So he hit me up a couple of years later, like, yo, it's this play on the floor, you know what I'm saying? It's up at Flint, XYZ. We can do what we want to do.
Mm.
And we teamed up with a Detroit Piston Hall of Famer, NBA champion, and his wife at the time. And they already had this thing going, had the paperwork, everything going, but it was like shut down for a while, XYZ.
Okay.
So we were able to take it over, yeah, and then got a dispensary. So and
Nice.
in 2016, and I'm
That's
also focused on urban agriculture. I want to put an emphasis on that again.
yeah.
Urban agriculture as a whole will be the future. I have something I'm working on. It's coming very soon. I do
Okay.
have an Instagram called Apple Tree Farming for that company. You can
For
go
sure.
check that out.
For
And
sure.
you can look into that. Just microgreens is something that I do want to, that
Mm-hmm.
just throw out there. Microgreens. Look
No
out
doubt.
for it coming soon.
No
Yes, sir.
doubt. No doubt. Yeah, man. But yo, my brother, I appreciate the time, man. It's been a good one, man. Listen,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
before you roll out, man. Of course, we want to do our book recommendation. I think it's important for
Facts.
us to go back to books sometimes, and get some real knowledge. So I just like to have my guests come through and recommend a book. It could be a good book that has something to do with what we spoke on today, or it could just be like any good book that you think would be important for people to check out, man. Go ahead.
Oh, that's Fernando. That's such a hard, hard, hard question. Like
Oh,
I got a pile of books right here on my desk. Like, man. So you mean I can't even name like
you can give me
Jay-Z
two.
decoded. I can't even. I can't. Oh my bad. So I'll get what you're saying. Okay. Dang. So I can't even. Oh my bad. So
Give
it's
me a
like I
couple.
just got. You know what I'm saying? I just got a laying around. I promise you, bro. Like, but man, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Okay.
But I ain't gonna lie. Like, and I'm gonna go with this one. It's one. It's one book that I was gonna say, but I ain't gonna lie. And the reason I'm gonna go with this one is only because one time I was with my homie Jay Wan, who actually got a banger out right now,
Mm.
and we was going to the studio, and I literally, I'm deciding all this right now as we speak. So I am gonna go with this one because me and Jay Wan went to the studio. It was his studio session, so he ended up going out to this place in Fenton, Michigan. It's like right by Flint. We went to some random dude house to record. I ain't never met this guy, never seen this guy again since. And it was in the basement of his house, but the dude had like Grammys and shit. The dude was like super solidified,
Okay.
certified,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm seeing like, damn, this dude cold. And he had a bookshelf. And I'm looking on his bookshelf and I'm just looking at everything. And I'm like, damn, this book just caught my eye. And I was like, damn, it's a dope book. So
Uh,
I just sat down while Jay Wan working and recording, and I just started reading through it and shit. And look at all them highlights I got in there now.
yeah. You were
It's like,
studying that thing.
and I'm like, at the end of the session, we've been over for like 5, 6 hours. Oh, that's a good book, homie. Like, really? He like, yeah, you did. You were over there nose deep in it. It's yours. Take it.
Uh, that's what's up.
And I was like, damn. And this book taught me a lot, bro. Seven Habits of Highly Effective People
Okay.
by
Who?
Stephen Covey.
Dope. For sure, my dude. Listen, man, before you go, man, please tell the listeners, man, give out your socials, whatever website, things you're working on.
Yes, sir. And what episode you said it's gonna be?
This is episode 24, man.
Rest in peace, Kobe.
No
Mamba
doubt.
mentality always.
No doubt, man.
Yes,
Kobe
sir.
Bryant, man. It was amazing to see, when he passed away. And by the way, it's been 3 years, man. January 26th, I believe he passed away, 2020. Man, the impact he had on hoopers all over the world at every level, every level, whether it was fucking middle school hoopers, professionals, college hoopers, street ballers. You know what I mean? Like at every level, women, men. You know what I'm saying? He had such an impact, a strong impact on the game, man.
rapping in Italian.
Yes, sir. Rapping in Italian. Yo, he had such a strong impact on the game of basketball, and he was a great ambassador of the game, man. And his tragic death, man, that was crazy, man. It hit me too, man. But definitely.
Rest in peace, Kobe. Definitely grateful for Kobe,
for
bro.
Sure, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
24.
Yeah, all right. I appreciate you, bro. My name is Adubb the Gawd, aka Gawdier. You can reach me at mainly Instagram. I'll be on IG. Just reach out, man. Gawdier, 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 like Cartier, because I'm from the D. You understand me? I ain't got them on right now, so I'm chilling. But definitely, mainly there, and then keep up to date. You'll be seeing all the microgreens, all of the new cannabis lines coming.
What's the IG for that? You told me you had an IG for that too?
Yes, Apple Tree Farming. Apple Tree Farming. Yep. Sure. And look into that. Give that a follow and get ready for what's to come on there. Everything's getting revamped. It's all new, everything, and you'll learn a lot about microgreens going forward with us. Follow us. All right.
No doubt, no doubt. Yo, I'm gonna have all the info down in the description, man. Y'all follow my brother.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
Yeah, man. This is a good one. Vital Hoops, my brother. Good to have you, Adubb.
Fernando, thank you so much, bro. I appreciate you. Oh, I just dropped that, and you already know because we stay lit, my dog. Thank you,
doubt.
bro. Have a good one.
You already know, man. Peace.
Yes, sir.
Peace. Yes, y'all. Thank you for rocking with us. Thank you to my man Adubb. Listen, another great one, and please make sure you follow him on IG and check out what he's working on. Thank you for witnessing his hood Fairytale. Amazing story. My brother was good catching up. So listen, everybody, please continue to spread the word. Vital Hoops is for the culture. Follow, like, subscribe, share it on social media. You know what I mean? We appreciate you. Thank you to those who have been doing this, who've been, spreading the word. The Vital Hoops community is growing. And that's it. We're going to keep rocking for the culture. We out. Peace.